how to create plants. Basically, we go through the basic plant creation and all. Go and create more of master data. Like today, we're going to focus on creating the resource type, work centers. Then we focus on creating a shift and also material and all. We'll try to cover in the session. Okay.
While creating resource or work centers. Okay, if there is any dependencies to create a shift first or to create equipment first or any kind of thing, then take it those first. So while we creating,
That is there actually. That's why we are going with the flow only, like a flow in the sense the sequence only. No, I cannot start and creating operation first, because for creating an operation, that operation is also fun. If like suppose creating routing, I cannot create route directly without having the operation, without having the work centers, resources. I cannot do that. Also, like in DMC, uh, like in I think in the PP is a different thing, but in DMC resource, without having a resource, you cannot have the work center. Basically, in work center, we need to have one source, or in terms of ERP, if you understand, like capacity, you need to have one capacity. Like this particular resource is from available from what duration to till what. So that information is there. So basically, you need to have these things first. Then only you can create the work center. Then, if you have all this work center, resource, routing, sorry, operation, then you can able to create the routing. Same with the bomb also. Unless until you don't have the material, you cannot create the bomb. So we are going with that flow only, or that sequence only. Okay.
okay.
One more thing, if may I miss anything related, or may I say anything wrong related to this master data configuration? I try to give my best knowledge here, but since I am the background of MM actually, material master configurations and all. If you guys had feel like something is going wrong, just let me know. I will cross check and verify that as well. Okay.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. Thank you. So let's begin. So we will going to focus on creating first resource type, and then work center. So basically, as we discussed last in our last sessions, okay, resources is basically an actual piece where you're performing the task, or the actual tool or any equipment with the help of which you're performing the task to manufacture the raw material or the inventory. Okay, so in the DMC, to access the resource, you can use a managed resource applications where you can manage and create, edit or modify your resources. Okay. You can do also, you can assign your equipments whichever you are creating to the resources. Okay. In the asset management in application and DMC. Okay. Second thing is you can assign shifts to the resource also as well. So we can tell the system, no, okay, this particular resource will be available from, like suppose from, you can create a shift, you can assign that. So basically the capacity which we are in the ERP system we have. Okay. You can also assign technical objects in the resource. And also you can have custom data also, like any custom fields or where you want to create or associate with this particular resource, you can do that as well. Okay. So let's jump into the DMC system and see how this application look like. We'll go through each and every field to understand what it is for and how we can utilize it. Okay. Just give me a second. Let me open the system. So for to access this, I just type either resource, okay, or I can go to the manufacturing configuration tab, and here, sorry, not manufacturing tag, sorry, it's this one, manufacturing master data management, okay, and here I can see manage resource is. Okay. So as told you, this resource is nothing. It can be a machine, or it can be any tool, or any equipment uh, which we use to perform any operation, or to basically. Okay. This resource can be anything. It can be a bench. It can be any uh, drilling machine. It can be any tool, anything. Okay. So, with the help of this particular application, you can filter out and search the data as well based on these uh, filters. Okay. And you can create and you can view as well. And if you want to make any modification, you can do the modification as well. And like suppose if I want to remove this, say the modification is also possible. Okay. So these create, modify, view, all these features and the filter, search, and all are available in this particular screen. You can do that. Okay.
So, Kajal, this resource data.
Mhm.
So this we have to create locally in DMC, or this is something get transferred from S4
So if you have
immediately.
if you have integrated system, it will always
Mm.
going to be transformed from your integrated system. Else you have to create manually first. So like if you have a resource, inside resource, if you remember we have one setting which I showed yesterday. Let me just show you again. So if you're in your ERP system, you have just work center. There's no resources, nothing is there, right? So
Right, right.
DMC will create a default resource for the work center, and that setting is here, which I showed yesterday. Let me just quickly show it again. Create a default resource during the work center transfer. So if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have any capacity, basically if you have a capacity, suppose like you have a capacity, then against that you will having one resource. Okay. Else what will happen is like the system will create a default resource. So basically every time system will create one default resource, and then based on the whatever the capacity you have, it create one the resources as well. Okay. So suppose you're transferring a work center A. Okay. So in the
Mm-hmm.
DMC, when you open, and if you see in the manage resource, the same name works in resource will be getting created here as well.
And if your capacity is suppose is a 10 machines, okay, number of
Yeah.
capacity it's 10, so it will
Mhm.
create a 10
Mhm.
resource, or
Yes, it will create a 10 resource. It will associate that 10 resource with that particular work center.
okay, and then how the nomenclature will be for those 10 resource.
Yeah, it will be always the work center name and then the incremental number 1 to 10, 1 to 9, 1 to 10, sorry, yeah, 1 to 10.
So, which kind of master data that we get transfer from S4, and then we have to do some in like extra setting in DMC to utilize this DMC feature and all these things. So that also, if you can tell us, like this, see, transferring data from S4 to DMC is okay, but what
Mm.
extra in DMC we can do with those data? Do we need to maintain some additional things that will help in that execution part, kind of thing?
Mm, see, so yeah, so if we, okay, I will answer that your question. If you allow me, can I just finish it of how to
Yes,
create
yes.
one work center? Yeah, I will answer that one. Okay, so let's create one new works resource here. Okay, so let me just create one, and I will name that resource as a for an. So basically, yeah, I forget to tell you guys. So for this session, okay, I just having a scenario of manufacturing a bicycle. Okay. So I taken a scenario of discrete manufacturing where throughout this session we are going to create all the master data routings and
Hmm.
everything with respect to this particular hypothetical situation, which is a company who is manufacturing a bike. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah. So for that, we need some work centers, we need some resources through which the help of that we can able to achieve our goal. So suppose like I'm creating a bicycle, so I need few workstations, basically workstations or resources. With the help of that, I can do this activity. Okay. So suppose the sources can be like, so how I have uh, visualize it to showcase you this hypothetical cases like. So basically, I will be having a three different work center, which will be like a frame assembly where the frames of the bicycle will be assembled. Okay. Then we will have one a different work center, which is a paint booth, a paint work center, where the painting of those frame or other components will be happening. Okay. And we will have one wheel assembly work center where the wheels, including the spokes and the rims, are there, right? Of that wheel will be assembled there. And then we will have a final assembly station where all other parts of the cycles are assembled all together. Okay. So for that scenario, okay, for the first work center, we thought about the frame assembly. Okay, so for that we need tools basically to assemble these frames. Like one is a welding machine to weld that's okay. So for that I'm creating one resource, and I'm just giving a name as an arc welder. Weld. Okay. So yeah, let me, and I'm gonna give an example how we can categorize a group into a different resource type also. So I'm going to give it. So in the shop floor, I'm assuming that I have multiple welding machines. So I'm giving a different, giving it a multiple. I'm naming it like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I've created one resource which is arc weld one, and I'm giving this description is arc welding. Okay. So if you see, so whenever we are, first and most important thing is your resource name. It should be always unique name. Okay. This is one thing. And then we have our, okay. So then next is description. You have to put the description, then the status. So whenever we are creating a new, always it will be on the status. Okay. Enable status. We can change the status code with the plugin which I showed yesterday, that resource code status change. Okay. Then we have this particular process resource. Okay. So, okay, before going to this, I will let you know different other statuses which we have related to the resource. So, one we have, this is enabled. Okay. Basically, this particular resource is available and can be used in the productive environment. Okay. Second is the productive. Okay. That means this operator machine can, it's in production, basically someone is using, it has been using on the shop floor. Okay. Then we have a disable. So disable is basically we are letting the we are saying this particular resource is not longer available for use. Okay. Then we have schedule and unscheduled downtime. So whenever you have a planned downtime, you put this resource, maybe because of the maintenance thing, okay, it's going on for this particular, you have planned it. So you put this resource on the schedule down. Okay. Another reason maybe because of some unplanned, uncertain things happen with this resource. And so you put this resource, then you can change the status to unscheduled downtime, down basically. And yeah, this is another thing. And there's one more status code is unknown, basically. When you basically then you're not able to use this particular resource because of the unknown reason. Basically the operator, anyone doesn't know what happened this with this. Actually, it doesn't have any issue, it doesn't have any planned downtime. Okay, but somehow the operator is not able to use this particular resource because of the unidentified issue or anything. Okay. So then in that case, the operator can put this resource into a unknown status with the help of that plugin which I showed you yesterday from the operator pod. Okay. So these are the basic, I think, so five status codes which we can use. Okay. So basically, and this is also basically we are doing this. We also track our OE as well for the resource that we will discuss later during our second or the third module. Okay, but yeah, through this we will let the system know. Okay, this resource is available or not available, and it is in a productive or not. Okay. Next is process resource.
So, what is the
So
difference between enable and productive?
enable is like this system is available and you can use it. It is not been used, but it is healthy. It's available. Productive, it like someone is working on it or somewhere it is being utilized. Some process is running, some operator is using to perform and to manufacture any quantity.
So, that status will automatically update, or
So whenever you started a job, okay, any resources, the status will get changed. Okay, and in the productive, else, yeah, that is the way you will change the status from enable to productive. That will happen automatically. But for other things like to put into schedule down or unscheduled down, or to put the system in unknown or to disable, that you have to do manually through the plugins available, because system will never know whether you're going to have a scheduled downtime. Unscheduled downtime, you can automate it when you are having a shop floor integration. Okay. And unknown issues also, I don't know whether with the also it's possible. If you can integrate in such a way your system that anything whenever it is not available or anything, you can make the system know that okay, some issues happen but you're not able to identify. So it's up to how you are going to structure your uh, shop floor system. Then that way also you can automate the unknown status as well. But for time for currently, if we have to put the system in other status apart from productive, you have to do it manually.
okay? So generally, when in normal scenario, when we create the resource, it will be in enable status, and when it will get,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
when there is some job running, then it will change to productive. Once we done
Yeah.
the job, then again it will be in enable status.
Right. Right. Moving the next field is process resource. So basically, this field is used to define whether a started SFC. Basically, when you are starting an SFC, and this resource is owned by the resource or the user or by the user who are performing this operation on this particular. So basically, this is a so give an example. Like so, in a discrete manufacturing, what happened? Like every whatever you are is like dedicated to one particular operator. Okay, this particular operator is dedicated to work on this particular kind of an operation on this particular resource. Whereas in the process industry, it is more about the resource. Okay, like there's one tank, some mixing is happening or some chemical formation is going inside the tank, that is related to that particular tank only. No other operators, like if I'm working right now, some other also came and check and do the inspection and all. It's not like I only have that job to check and everything. In the process, general in process industry happens. Okay. So basically, you are saying that when you are so by default it is always no. That indicate that that as the SFC which is started on this as user, okay, uh, is assigned to a user ID. Basically, it's okay. So basically, what means like, so if I started this job on this particular resource, I'm the only one who is going to complete it. The resource will not, the system will not allow other person to complete the job. Okay. If it is of like if we don't want, if we have a scenario where okay, it doesn't matter if this is resource, if this particular SFC has started on this operation, it should complete on this operation, but anyone can come do this completion of the job, irrespective of who is completing it. Okay, in that case, you can enable this one. So this SFC will be tied to the resource only, not with the or not along with the user. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
in
eh,
in discrete also, Rachel, sometimes the
hmm,
production ongoing on the next shift.
yes.
Okay, and maybe it's a lengthy 8 or 10 hour cycle to produce SFC. So in that
Mhm.
case, yeah, it cannot be the same person who can work on that resource.
N- No, no, but that in that case, so see, let's take scenario where one person, so basically one SFC went from multiple shifts. Okay, but during every shift, only one person in your scenario, I'm just ask like trying to understand. So in every scenario, only one person is working on that piece, right, throughout the shift. So
Yeah,
if
but
the
it
shift and okay, he can just log out. So the system that SFC will be available to other person as well. And the next shift came, the new person will start the SFC. If if what I mean by that, when I say no other person can use this SFCs means if I started the SFC, okay, and it's still running, and if you came and tried to close or complete or do the sign off on that SFC, system will not allow because to system it's still that I'm working on it. Okay, once I come, if once did the sign off, okay, I didn't complete the job, I just did the sign up because I have to take some break or anything. Now this FC is available, you can start it on it. Now once you started, that system knows that you are the one who's working it right now. It will not allow me to start it until unless did the sign off from that SFC.
okay. And if you
Okay.
enable that, then multiple people can start SFC. Yeah,
Yes.
that is it.
Yeah, in this particular resource, yes. So basically, it means like that but start will happen once only. Means like if you started, that's it. Like I cannot able to complete the job basically. So basically, start. It's not possible. Like I also started, you also started. Means the event start will happen once only. Either you do or I do. Okay, but completion part is there, right? Where you're doing complete and all that. Since you have started, you should complete that. If it is no, okay. But in case of yes, if you started, I can also complete it. The system will allow that functionality as well. Because we are saying this particular job is related to the resource, not to the person who's starting the job.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Then we have a efficiency, which is to check the efficiency of the resource, and it is always measured in the percentage. Then we have maximum SFC in work. So basically, this is like you can put the count. Like I want only 10 SFCs to be started on this resource, not more than 10 can have an active one work in process SFC. Okay, not more than 10. Okay, this is like immediately change the status. Like whenever you enable this, the resource status when you are changing from this plugin, right, to enable to schedule downtime, unscheduled time, or to disabling it from that particular plugin. Okay, the status will change immediately. Okay, else what will happen? Suppose like if you put the status as no. Okay, so that means if you are making any changes on it, okay, so the status will change only when the last what. So basically, you are working on an SFC, okay, and on that particular resource, and you made the change. So basically, that change will reflect only once the active SFC which was what you are working is completed. Means you complete the job, you did the sign off from there, whatever it is reason, okay. Then only the state will get changed to whatever you have selected. Okay, if it is immediate, it will get changed immediately, even the your SFC is active on that particular resource. Okay.
So generally, in business case, what status will use immediate or
Mm, I think it should be immediate if something unscheduled downtiming is happening and all, right? So we should, like, suppose if you have an integrated scenario and system identify like some issues there, it should immediately inform the system and make the change so that no other users starting their job on this, right? They're starting the setup and all, but this ultimate system is like the next operation, next tool or resource they're going to use is not available, right? That for the real time information to the operator, I think it's better to have this particular change immediately.
Okay, so
I
let's say
feel, but
that SFC is
mm,
already started, and there is an update to the system status change. Okay,
mm,
there's resource state, and then what happened? Like SFC is already in process, so it means they will not complete that particular part. Can't
yes,
post account.
yes. They will not able to because resource is not available, right?
No, but it's already in start status, so it will get cancelled or on
No, it
hold.
will be in will the your work will be in queue actually. It in the queue or hold it as you understand. Basically, you will not able to process further on this particular resource. You have to wait until unless the resource is not it's up and running or in a or in an enable or productive state. Then only you can work on it. Else, other scenarios like you can route to the different alternate
Mhm.
resources.
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features: bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
For changing these resources, okay, you can also use API as well, which yesterday I showed, right? That Business Hub API, Accelerator Hub API. So from there, also they have this. So if you want to change it from other system apart from the DMC, that also you can do. Externally, also you can do.
But here,
Then
manually manage resource, you will not change the status, right?
here you cannot do because I'm creating right now. Okay, but once I created, I can do the change as well from here, from the screen also. Let me show you that one as well. Next topic is the resource type. Okay. So resource type is basically like we'll have some resource type which we have defined already. And basically this is for grouping. So right now I've created one arc weld. Okay. So I might possible like for the our scenario we will might have three or four. Okay. So what we can do is like we can put all those resources in one group arc welder, and then whatever changes you have to perform, anything you can do at the group level as well. Okay, so here you have the provision to do that. For currently I will not do because next step we will create the group and then we assign it here. Okay, for the if you want to associate or link this particular resource which we are creating with your asset, basically the on shop floor equipment, basically so if you want to map it, you can use this one. So currently we don't have any equipment or assets created. So no data is coming here. Here you can assign the shifts. So basically you're saying this particular resource is valid from what date to, okay, and on which shift it will be available. It's morning shift, night shift, or the next morning shift. What is it? So that also you can assign. Okay.
Kajal, just one questions. So
Uh-huh.
asset, right? So what is the difference between asset and we are creating a resource, correct? Asset is also kind of a resource only, right?
So
Uh,
see, as said, so when I said this, basically it's kind of a Okay. So basically, you have a shop floor. In the shop floor, you will have this item only. Okay, arc weld. You have it, but system you have to create a rep. You have to create a twin of it. Okay, basically, like you will create a mirror of it in the DMC, a placeholder basically in DMC, which will saying, okay, this resource is basically uh, this whatever we create in the DMC is representing the shop floor physical tool or machine. So that physical, what the terms? One second, like, mm, one second. So in the shop, this industrial automation. Okay, basically, we always try to replicate or create a digital twin. Basically, like whatever present in the shop floor, we'll try to create a digital copy of it, right? So that we can map your physical component to your digital component, right? So in DMC also, so if you have a machine, you have to create a digital copy of it in the DMC. Okay, and then see this resource is coming from your integrated system, so you want to make a link of it. Okay, so basically this resource is a representation of the physical tool or machine available in your shop floor. That linkage you are putting here, that's it. You're linking
So,
it basically. That's it.
so what is like what is the business case, or in which scenario we have to use, or we can skip this? And like if we link it
If
or
you
not, like
want
what is the
to,
advantage?
if you want to see, I'll give you the example right away only. Suppose this is your resource in the shop floor. Okay. And you want to automate it. Basically, when I say automate it, basically like if anything goes wrong, you want to notify the operator that, hey, this is not working. You cannot, let's put the status to unscheduled downtime because this is not available. It's not in a good shape. Okay. So
Mhm.
that information you will do it from shop floor connectivity. And to do the shop floor connectivity, you have to create a linkage between your physical tool or machine to your digital resource or the equipment or tools which you are creating in the DMC. Okay.
So for that that shop floor connectivity, you mean this is a mandatory?
Yes, if you want to link it, basically.
Mm. But you can link with the
Uh,
resource only, right? Why you need that asset to be created? You are
Basically, the terms is used in that way. It's not it's so basically for the shop floor, for you as a client, for the supervisor, your machine is an asset for you, right? That's the word it is used only. That's it. It's a word only. Basically, machine for in a plant, okay, it will be always be an asset.
I think so. One thing I want to mention here: whenever we work in any manufacturing industry, also we will be creating work centers, but those machines will be created as a equipment by PM team, plant maintenance team.
Yeah,
I think that is
equipment.
the same term.
Yes, equipment, tools. These are the same thing actually. Also, basically, yeah, I understand your question right now, Soil, what you mean by. So in this particular resource, basically resource we are saying is a place, okay? And in that place, we can have a multiple or equipment, or can be have one-to-one mapping as well. Okay. So basically, if I have one-to-one mapping in the shop floor for this particular resource, means that space, I have one only tool or equipment. If that is down, I have to make sure that particular space also will be notifying the operator, okay, you cannot perform anything here because of the system is not available because of XYZ reason, maybe unscheduled downtime or some other reasons, right? So for that reason, if you want to implement you want to do the connectivity with your shop floor, and that particular resource or equipment is available in this particular resource, okay, a work center, basically. So then you have to link it. Okay. So this is a place where you can link it with your resource. If you want to link your machine or equipment or tool with the resource, this is a place you have to do that.
So is there some connectivity with that plant maintenance part, or is not related to plant
Yes,
maintenance?
no, it is related to that. Without the plant production connector, you cannot connect your shop floor to the MC. You need something in middleware, and that is production connector.
No, I mean plant maintenance. This asset part, this is something related to plant maintenance module, where they created this asset equipment and all these things, and that we can use it, or this is some specific data to DMC.
You can integrate your plant maintenance as well, but that will be custom developments. But that is in the roadmap of DMC. Maybe by 2025 last quarter, maybe they are planning to introduce few feature of it. Okay, but I need to I'm not sure about that as well, because that is what I saw in their roadmap. Okay, but that is also maybe changed.
So this asset that we have to create in DMC locally, or the asset that we have created in S4 in plant maintenance that can be transferred?
So equipments, tools, you can create in S4, you can transfer to DMC. Okay. Or if you want to create locally in DMC, just a replica or the mirror image of your physical assets, you can do in locally in DMC as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So based on your experience, have you used this particular functionality anywhere? Or?
We have used actually. So shop floor connectivity we did. Since right now equipment, as told you, right, PM is not available. That module is not yet integrated with DMC. For that we did custom development. Okay, but yeah, we have did actually. But basically, if you say it's in DM to shop floor to DM, and then the custom development for the S4. Not like it's not a standard out of box integration with PM and QM module as of now.
Okay.
But later they are in may come actually. So they are planning. So first I think they are planning on the QM part, and then I think PM as well.
Okay, so QM is also not out of the box solution.
No, right now, no. Maybe by the end of this year, some feature may came, but I'm not sure about that as well. We need to check. But yeah, as of now, no.
Okay. Yeah, we need to discuss on that part, because there's non-conformity in all this thing. If this is part of DMC and it's part of QM also, right? Then how do those will work? When we will discuss when we come to that part.
Yeah, non-conformance, you're not sending anywhere in as non-conformance. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we can discuss, but yeah, not available as of now. Okay, let's move forward. We have shifts basically.
I have a question. Can we assign the multiple resource for the same asset, or is it one resource only we can? Yeah.
1 second. You're saying
multiple resource we can assign for the same asset?
It doesn't make sense actually. How is it possible that your place is moving to two different assets? No. Vice versa, I think it's possible, where your asset is assigned to multiple resources. Means your asset is assigned to this arc weld, assigned to paint booth, W setting tool. That is possible. But why vice versa means you are saying?
In arc weld itself, we have two resource, so we can assign the two resources for the same asset, is it?
Okay. So what I'm saying, what you are saying is the same thing, I guess. So basically, your space or resource will not be moving, right? What is the resource basically? It's a work center, and the work center is a dedicated place in a shop floor, right? I'm not sure, like you can randomly or any day can change the work center place. I'm not
So
sure about that.
only,
How
yeah,
how
that is right.
Mhm.
But we can assign only one asset here or multiple assets also we can assign how it works in machine model.
I think it's is one-to-one mapping. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
No, then yeah, okay, fine. Then we'll move to the next topic, next parts actually. So we have shift assignments. We can assign shifts to them. Okay. Then we have your technical objects. Okay. So technical objects is basically you can define like where your asset is, like physical locations and all those information you can assign here. But basically the location of your asset, where it is, so that information you can have it here. Okay. Time-based auto assembly, I never did actually. So basically here you have to add manually the bin your informations actually. So like which bin is there and all. I never used it that part actually as of now. So I'm not much sure how functionally it will work in the DMC. But yeah, is this something related to your doing the assembly, auto assembly for your like if in that particular resources you have to do auto assembly, so what are the from which bin the locations, basically all the location information you have to mention here, how much quantity you have to do, how much you have to assemble, and all those things you have to configure here.
What is the meaning of bin here?
Bin is basically the okay, bin is basically that I think that box where you have your components area, basically, like I think kitting process you know like bin, what I said, this is basically try to understand the small area where your component is
You can keep the
present.
inventory here. Okay.
Yeah, inventory, a small, yeah, inventory, right. So yeah, that is a place where you're keeping your inventory and all those things. So I
I
think
think
this
this
will,
is like integrated with TWMX.
yeah. Yes, more into that part actually. So I don't have much. We never use actually, so I didn't know much about it. This is also for the inventory related thing only. Okay. Here, if you want to define some attribute value for your OE related, okay, I want the target for this particular resource to be this much and all, that you can put the target values here for the OE purpose only. This is you can use it. Okay.
So where we it
What
says the
is
custom
OE?
data. It says the custom data. So where we define this?
Okay, custom data I didn't cover yesterday. Okay, let me just open it. So for every business object, either shop order, material, routing, operation, you can create some custom data, some custom fields, and you can uh, collect some data against those fields. For that, we have one application called Manage Custom Data. So these are the different objects. Okay. Workstation, user is there, routing, resource, all those things they are there. So we are currently working on the resource. So these are the four fields are there. We can create our own as well. Like let's give me that. It is added, okay. But here it will not come. I have to refresh it. Let me just copy the name. I think I missed one step here. Yeah. So actually, screen that was auto refresh is not there on most of the screens. Okay. So So whenever any changes you are making on the fly, right? You have to make sure like you're refreshing the page, which I made a mistake earlier. So you can see here, whatever we created the field, I can see that.
Can you again go to that manage custom fields?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here you don't need to define anything like field length, data type, whether it can be a long text or
No.
nothing. So how, if I want to restrict the totally numeric entries or any validations, how it will work?
No. It will be a kind of a free text field is there only. You can just put whatever you like. It's a free text actually.
Would it be used for reporting purpose? What is the significance of adding this custom data? Where we are going to use it?
So basically, like you can see these are the informations available against the resources, right? These are the only fields where you can have data. But if you want to have certain, like, see, this one is there, right? These are there. So they are targeting, okay, for this particular uh, resource, we are targeting to have a KPI. We are putting a target value for the KPIs, okay? So there's no other place where we can put that information in the system, okay? So what they did actually, they created a custom field, and here whatever the value you put, okay, that will be utilizing in the reporting in the background actually, okay. So they are using this field for their calculation of the OEN everything. Similar example I can give you for the in the order also we can create a custom fields, okay. So in order, if I say, there's no fields right now available to have the custom customer sales order information basically. Some clients need that information as well in the system to check for which sales or basically relate for which sales order it is for this order actually. Okay. So in that case, you can create the custom field. You can store that data in that field and you can display in any report or any place where you want actually. So it's up to you. It's up to the client requirement, and it's basically the purpose of this is to give a flexibility to the developer or to the user that if something is not, if you want to store, collect, or view any data which is not available through the standard fields, you can create your own field, populate those data, and you can visualize anywhere you want. This data is also available for the reporting purpose as well. Yeah. Let me just quickly create this. Yeah, I think we have almost done everything. Just let me create this. So I can see my resource has been created with the name. Here you can see that the top the name. Here you can see the time on which it created and the last time when it was modified. Okay. At the top, there's an option to copy, delete this resource, and then that's it. We can see all the information which I have assigned here to this particular resource. Okay.
Here also the status field is grayed out. You said that we can change after created.
It's not allowing. Okay. Okay, maybe my bad. We cannot do here. I think from that plugin only we can do actually. So whatever change you do from the plugin, that information you can see here. But basically the status here, you can, but you cannot change. This whatever the change status is coming, you can see if I started working, the status will be showing as a productive, but yes, cannot change. I assume it we can do, but here not. I think work center I can do. 1 second. No. Yeah, sorry, I get confused with this one. So for the work center, we can do. enable, disable is there. But for the resource, if you want to put the resource status in a different, then you have to use the plugin only to make the change.
Okay.
Or a service to make the change through the production process designer. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's try to understand how two things. We'll understand shift as well as the resource type. Let's first do the resource type. So as told, resource type is nothing but grouping the similar property or similar resources into one group. Okay. So what we're going to do actually, we might create a multiple arc weld. So we will create a one group for this. We have a resource type is there. There's one default resource which has been created by the system on the plant creation. Okay. I will create the now I created the resource type. Okay. Now if I go back to the resource, here I can see two types are now coming. This is a default one. This is the one which we create. We can assign it to this. Okay. So this is how you do the assignment. It's just to we are grouping that particular resource into one particular category. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and do the shift assignment. So for this one, we need to make sure we have a shift. Shift basically the plant shift. Like what are the different, like can be possible that shift, the plant is running 2 shifts, 3 shift, or one single shift. Okay. So we should so also it's possible that particular resources are working or available for one shift only, or the next 2 shift, or maybe for the second shift only. So that possibilities are there. So to make sure like we are having this information as well, giving this information system as well, like this resource will not be available in the other shift. So for that we have to do this configuration as well. So here right now we don't have any shift, I guess. Yeah, we don't have created as of now. So we'll first go and create the shift.
So if we have created an S4, can we transfer that shift, or we have to create separately with same ID?
No, you can transfer the same shift. So basically, I think it's a shift. One second. So basically, there's a two type of shift in ERP, right? One is the capacity shifts and intervals, or one, right?
Right.
So capacity interval shifts you can directly transfer with the work center. Okay.
Okay.
That is easily, like that will happen through whenever you're doing the work center transfer. So this is a place we can manage our shifts. Okay. So same
But
feature.
that related to work centers, right? So how we can
This,
use it in resource? The ERP shift that we maintain at work centers.
so see, in ERP, there's no concept of resource, but in DMC, okay, guys are getting confused. Okay, see, so in we have this is our ERP, or you can understand our S4. Okay, and this is our DMC. So in the ERP, we have just work center. Okay, in the DMC, it is work center and resource both. If for the work center you don't have any capacity, there will be only one default resource, which will be the representation of the work center only. in the DMC. Okay, with no capacity. And this no capacity means that it will have no shift as well. Or maybe, I'm not sure about this part, but if you don't have any capacity, shift will be possible. I guess I have see that way. If you have no capacity, okay, that means in DMC, this resource will also be the same. It will be the work center only. Okay. So by default, always the DMC system create one resource, which is the work center itself. Okay. But if you have a capacities, then in that case, it will be having multiple resources. This will be the first resource, which is your default, which is like your real work center only. Okay. But if you have capacity, okay, if you have like two capacities, basically, so you will have this one resource, and along with that, you will have two more, which is resource 2 and 3. The naming convention will be same as the name of the work center. If your work center name is T, then it will be T1, T2, T3. That's it.
So if it is a 2 capacity, then it will be a 2 resource or 3 resource?
So basically, if it has 2 capacity, in the DMC, if you look into it, will be showing 3 resources. One resource is a default resource, which will be always created when you're transferring the work center. And the next 2 will be representing your capacity.
Okay, and next 2 resource, if I want to assign that resource type while transferring the data, how to do that? Means those 2 also will get created with the default resource type, or I can assign the resource type or map the resource type while transferring the data.
Yeah, that was your question. Basically, you want to understand what are the different activity which is specific to the specific to this particular DMC, or what are the data which are being transferred from the integrated system. The resource type is something which is only in the DMC. Okay. So that part you have to come and manually assign it here. Okay. That you cannot do it from the integration actually.
Okay. So yeah, so that again, like if there are many work center, under work center there are many resource. So you have to do it manually for each resource to assign the resource type once the data get transferred from S4 to DMC.
Sorry, maybe I lost in between. Sorry.
Okay. What I mean is, see, there are number of work centers, right? Under each work centers, there are number of resources. So maybe count goes to somewhere 200, 500. Correct. So once we transfer the data from S4 to DMC, then for those 500 resource, we have to manually assign the resource type in DMC.
Yes. Or you can automate this part as well. You either do manually or automate this part. You create the resource type, same as the work center name or whatever, like visible to you, like how basically you can easily automate this event. So whenever your resource work center is downloaded, after that you can run a process, a logic, which will be assigning the work center resource type to this particular resources.
Okay, automate means how to create this plugin and kind of things.
PPD, production process logic. Basically, that is all. Now the SAP is terming that as a no code, low code thing. So it's a very simple drag and drop logic. You have to prepare. Okay.
So can you show that in not now, but somewhere when we are going to like what we can do for the custom development or?
Yes, I think we are having that as well. I will see. I think we have that. PPD. think. I'm not sure, but I will see. If
Okay.
not, then we can add it somewhere in our session. Okay. So yeah, this is how you do resource assignment. We were talking about as shift assignment. So we will go and create one shift here. You can transfer shifts as well, but for now we are going to create a local shift. So I will name it shift A. This is just shift A. Category you can put is a user shift, is a resource shift, or work center shift. And we are creating for the resource. Let make it resource shift. Okay. And yeah, this is right now we are creating locally. We'll make it as we will make sure it is disabled because we are not transferring it from the S4 or any other. Okay. And then you can assign the shift intervals. The shift intervals like valid from begin shift and all those shifts we can add. So like let's say it's a morning shift. So I'm starting it from 6 o'clock to 30 to next 2:30. Okay. This is our shift. So clock in they can start from 6:15, like suppose I'm giving, and the clocking should end from 6:30. Clock out they can start from 4:30 and can go till 4:35. I'm just giving a buffer of 15 minutes, so it's up to the clients how they want to do it. Okay, not and just random data I'm putting it here. Yeah. Here you can assign whether it's labor assign actual day hai or shift start date hai and shift end day hai. Let's keep it actual only. Okay. And then so basically labor assignment on this, what is actual day shift start date on this means is like basically actual day is like the labor time will be logged for the actual day of that the day they actually worked on. Okay. And this is at the shift start and this is when the shift ends actually. That is the labor assignment. Let's go with here you can add the break as well. Okay.
Sorry, not getting that labor assignment. What exactly means?
Okay. See, so labor assignment is basically specify that the day the system log the shift time to when the shift spends. Okay. So like so actual day is a default that always you have it. That means you can log the labor time to the actual day of the labor occurs. Okay, when it is actually the labor is working on it actually kind of it. Shift start day, it's like mostly we keep it that actual day. Okay, it's we I never and as of now I've never used the rest to like shift start day or shift end day. Okay, but what the shift start day is for the logging all the labor time to the day the shift starts. At that time, you're doing this labor starting and all this you're doing. And at the shift end, what is you're logging all the labor time. Basically, you're logging all the labor time when the shift ends actually. Before
Okay,
that, you are not doing. But we keep it at actual because at that time, whenever you're doing your recording or logging the time at the real time actually it's not like you're waiting the shift to end or and all. Okay. Or at the start you're doing it's whenever they are doing we are logging it. Let's talk about the break. So you can define two types of break here. One is the meal break and the rest break. Like suppose we like to give them a meal break of at 11 for 30 minutes. Oops, no, sorry, 11. And It ends at 30. Okay, this is our meal break. I can add one small break of 15 minutes as well. Okay, not sorry. So this is how you can assign the breaks. Okay, this is the validity information you have put it. Okay, and I didn't add this one. So validity whenever you're creating, okay, it should always be started before the creation date. So it will be valid from tomorrow. And let's keep the date as long as possible. Okay. Here, if you want to override the day shift information also, that also you can do. Means this is a uh, shift information you day, but if you want to override, like, okay, no, on Tuesday, this shift start end day should be different, actual break should be different time. So that also you can do. Basically, you can do at the day level as well. Okay. For now, I'm just keeping it straightforward only,
Yeah,
but you
one more
can do
question.
that.
So, can we assign that factory calendar like for the plant holidays or kind of things?
Yes, see, that feature is there, so you can upload all the holidays in DMC, so it
Mm-hmm.
will be reflecting as well. So that
So,
we will discuss in our Rio session actually. So for the Rio, all these things are mandatory. Like without all this information, you cannot
mm-hmm.
plan and schedule your job, right? Because you don't know whether the system is not aware whether today is holiday or how much resource will be, well, the user will be available and what shift they are working and all those information we need to do before we really start with the Rio. So that part we will cover in that module. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Here the this is a calendar rules also. So we are saying Monday to Friday is a production and Saturday, Sunday is a non-production. Here you can mention also like it's a normal day or it's a weekend or it's a holiday, that also you can put. So like some, maybe I'm just so given a hypothetical, maybe possible that Monday can be a holiday day. Okay. Up or not. So it's depend, like you can change this field value as well. This is the calendar how it looks like. You can see. If you want to add any custom data at the shift level as well, you can do that. Okay. Let me just save this. So now you can see shift is created. And this is the shift information, shift interval we have created. Okay. Now let's go and assign this shift to the resource. So I will say its assignment should be from this to this, and this assignment I'm doing this one. Okay, here I'm saying it should be available. There's this, or basically this shift is available from 6:30 to 2:30. This is the information we have assigned here, and then all the information at what. So basically, check is like this is the productive day. This is non-productive day. You can
One second.
save.
Can you just go back to that same app when a shift happens?
Mhm.
There we define the date, and again there we are defining the dates in the while assigning the shift. Valid from, valid to.
This one.
Yes.
You are saying you assign the shift level date here, and then you are saying you are assigning here as well. This one.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So possibilities are this one. You have a global shift, 2 or 3 global shifts you have. Okay. But you are scheduling your resource. Basically, you are saying from this duration to this duration, it will be working or having a shift this. Okay.
I think it is like one shift interval you created as standard, but that shift can be used by multiple resources. So while doing the assignment with multiple resources, you can change the data code, right? In resource A, you are assigning the shift. There you can set the validity, and resource B, you can change that valid from when valid to valid.
Basically, we are telling the system, okay, you are using the shift, okay,
See,
but you will go.
Let me explain. See, you create a shift at the plant level, right? So it's a shift at the plant level. Suppose people as a take example people as a resource. Okay, so so that resource will work in the first shift for this particular time. Then in the next month, the same resource will work in the second shift, right? So that way you can give that validity in that resource, okay, for shift one, this time to this time, shift B, this time to this time. But overall shift validity is at the plant level.
Yeah.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
So in S4 system, we have a work center. Inside a work center, we have different capacity categories like machines and person. Okay, but one more concept is there. We have number of individual capacities. For example, if you have a big work center where you have a parallel working machines, 3 to 4 parallel working machines, they have a same output. Okay, so that is defined as the capacity, number of individual capacities. So here we are discussing about number of individual capacities or capacity category.
Number of I understand your point. The number of individual capacities. So if you have 10 of like about 2 capacity, individual capacity, which is ranging from like suppose this year January to August, one is one capacity, another is like from August to next December. This is another capacity. So when you're transferring this data, it will create 2 different resources against the different capacity. So it will create a different shift basically, and also create a different resource and associate that shift with that capacity.
No, I mean, see, the dates. I'm not saying the date will change. For one work center, we can set the date as same. It will remain same because we are setting at the capacity category level. Okay. Inside capacity category, we define number of individual capacity. That means number of machines working in parallel in same work.
Okay.
So you referred as 2 capacity. What does that mean? I'm just wanted to relate.
So those are number of machines only.
Yeah.
So if you have the two machines in DMC, it will create a 2 resource.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to confirm. But there is no relation with the capacity category, right?
Capacity category will come to know when we go to the work center.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah. See, capacity category is maybe the like a resource type, whether it's machines or people or what kind of resource it is. Right?
Yeah. Just 1 second. I will just flash one thing to you guys. Maybe it's helpful. So basically, in your S4 you have work center. Okay. And so in the DMC, it will be work center only with the same name. Suppose you have a production, like I just giving work center name assembly. Okay. So in DMC also, it will be same DMC. Sorry, no, assembly only. Okay, but in DMC, one more thing will be there, and under the resource also you can see the same name, assembly. Okay, it will be the same only. So when you are creating a capacity category, okay, suppose like in your system, it is like, so in this in your DMC actually it will be you can see in the resource that capacity basically. Okay, and it will be same naming credential will be same, like here assembly is there, assembly underscore 1, assembly underscore 2, whatever the capacity you are creating. Okay, yeah.
No, the question is,
I think
Kajal, what is saying, right? Under
Mhm.
our work center, we have two different capacity. Okay, one is machine and one is labor.
Okay. So okay, let me just, maybe I'm wrong at that, maybe on the ERP side to understand it. So you have capacity category, and then inside the capacity category, you are creating the capacities. Yeah. Is that
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yes, Rahul, this is what you mean, right?
so. Yeah, we inside capacity category we define shifts and all. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that will remain same. If we inside that we have option to define how many resource are working. Okay, that we define in terms of a number of individual capacity, like 4 machine or 5 machines. Okay, so then when it transferred from S4 to DMC, I think resource will be created, but they will be created with the same shift assignment, because we have a functionality to assign single shift inside. It's because we are creating at work center level in ERP.
Okay.
Like all the resource which will be transferred, I mean, all the resource will be transferred from that work center. They will have same shift assignment.
Okay. Okay.
That's okay. We when that
Yeah, you can
resource
try that
we
one. Yeah, but
go to S4
mostly,
help, or when we transfer it in real time, then we'll get to know more.
yeah, mostly whatever the capacity you have, okay, that will be getting generated in the as a resource in the DMC. That is for sure. Okay, category, I'm not sure about it, like how it will come.
Yeah, that's okay. I just was confused. You are explaining about capacity category or capacity. That's okay. We can proceed.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's. So I think this is your. We talk about resource type, and manage shift. Okay, let's do the work center creation now. Okay.
Before we going for work center, maybe it will be again a big big topic. You want to take a break or want to continue?
Resource is somehow straightforward, nothing much. Maybe it is little, but let's complete this. Then we'll take a break and then we'll start with a new topic. Okay.
Mhm.
It will be in the same sync. So for the resource as well, we have the same structure. Okay. Layout is same for this application as well. This filter, search, you can manage, edit, and create a new one. Okay, so now let's create the work center for this arc which we have created, this route resource which we have created. Okay. Mm, so basically, we're gonna create, and so basically we are what I see, like we are using this welding machine to assemble the frames and all. So I'm gonna name this work center as a frame assembly. Okay, so instead of putting full name, I'm giving this one work center F assembly. This is frame assembly. Okay, this is frame assembly. Okay, status will be enabled. Category, since this is going to be adjusted, I can put a line. I can put, basically depend upon your work center uh, type. What is it? It's a line. It's a group. Okay. or it's a whole building is your work center, or it's a cell which have a different other um, resources, or they're like uh, so you can define as well as per your uh, factory or your plant architecture or layout, basically how the your work center is. For time being, I'm keeping it null. Like I'm not defining anything. Minimum number of people and maximum number of people. So basically here we are putting the numbers, basically like how many people can work on this particular work center at a time. Okay, so this upper and lower limit we are assigning here. We can do that. And yeah, this one is a work center member assignment. Basically here we are telling, okay, this particular work center we will having these resources. So I'm going to add the resource which we just created, which is the arc build one. Okay, here you can see there's a two options: scheduling and OI relevant, monitoring relevant. Okay, so basically when I enable this one, then this particular resource will be visible and available for the in the RIO application. Sorry, so otherwise it will not be visible there. So we cannot schedule or any dispatch any order through the RIO on this particular work center. Okay. Um, Here you can define the, okay, I will cover this part.
So see, there is a field like ERP capacity category.
That what we were discussing about.
Yeah, so basically whenever your resource is coming, like whenever your data is coming from ERP, right, that information will be coming here. So what is the capacity category for this particular resource?
Here we have assigned the resource inside the work center. Why is it
Yes.
the next field which is coming as grayed out again work center name?
It will coming same actually. I'm not sure about this. But
Okay.
yeah, if I create, it will just be the blank. Nothing.
Okay.
Or maybe if it is integrated system, okay, just give me a second. I don't have access right now. I will let you know if it is an integrated system. I think it will be representing the work center name and all anything. I will check this part one. Okay. I never created this kind of master data manual in DMC right now for your sessions. I'm doing this. Other mostly we go with the integrated system only. I will check this part and I will let you know tomorrow. Okay.
No issues.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else on this?
So this OE part we'll see later on, you mean?
So basically, this is a setting here we are doing actually. So whenever
No, there is a OE hierarchy and there's a field to add.
so this one you're talking about. Yeah, just give me a second on that part. I'm just asking anything you have anything till now we have covered on this particular screen. Any question in doubt? No. Okay.
What is that set default? Set default means?
Set default where? Oh. Okay, set default is basically you're saying when you're okay. If I click this, your default.
No, you do it set default again. If you try to create a new work center, then you may see anything coming as same.
Okay, I will do one thing. I will delete this one. No, this is set default is basically for the Rio case only, not for the. Okay. Okay. Now I understood what is this. It's different. Here, if you see, okay, I think 1 second, just give me a second, just give me a second. Okay, so here in this particular right work center member, you cannot just assign resource, you can assign a different work center as well. So they given a provision both of it. So if you want to assign resource, this will be gray out. If you are assigning any other work center to it, so basically at a time you can do one assignment. Either you assign resource to this particular work center or a different work center to this work center. Okay,
So this is
I don't know the
basically to
real.
create that work center hierarchy, right? Or
Yes, I think so. I never work in this scenario, but yeah, this is pretty much good right now. I'm saying. So this is like this is giving, yeah, what you say, so like it's a kind of a hierarchy we are creating here. And yeah, so you can assign a work center to a work center as well. Okay. Let me just go with the resource only as of now. This is not correct right now. Okay. So we have status basically. So basically the status is showing us for the basically this is a default work center for the so whenever we are working on this Rio thing, okay, we are assigning the data when we are doing scheduling based on the work center and resources, right? So when if any work, yeah, if we have a multiple resource, okay, suppose if I had other resources as well, let us assembly if I'm putting, so this will be the okay, so resource mapping is 1 to 1 only. This is also assigned to some other work center. Okay. So basically, this will say if I have multiple resources, this will be so whenever we are considering the Rio features, so this particular resource will be considered as a default under this particular work center. Okay. So basically, if you're not specifically or explicitly specifying, okay, on which resource this should be getting dispatch, the system will take the default resource. Okay. And this is making sure like this is available when we are doing the Rio part. Otherwise, it will not come on the Rio screen and we will not see this resource available there. Okay. So this is this one thing which I think we are discussing. So this capacity category is the one which has been transferred from the S4 side. This is the capacity category of that particular work center. Okay. Then we have the OE hierarchy. Basically, we can add here. Let me just try it once. So right now we haven't created any reasons or for the uh, resources, right? Like what is the reason this is resources down? Any other reasons? What happens? So basically here you can define the hierarchy. So and let me see if I can create the parents resource. Let me save it first. Parent resource.
we can go
1
to this
second.
resource
Yeah.
assignment. Go to the resource assignment.
Yeah. This is resource assignment is basically like through this, you can just make sure, okay, this particular order should be worked on this resource and all this that I can do. But that is also not needed. But like if you have a situation scenario where you want to make sure like this particular, so if you have multiple resources, okay, in the same work center or anything, so there you can come and tell, okay, no, this particular resource, this particular order needs to be work on this resource under this work center, so that you can do there. This part, okay, Rio part actually is that right? Rio hierarchy and all. We'll discuss a little late on the second module where we have the OE configurations and all. Okay, because right now we don't have the proper configuration for these. That's why nothing is coming. We will cover later this one. Okay. I will make a list of it. So OE is there, which we need to cover. The hierarchy under the work center. Okay, we'll cover this. So basically, basic idea is there actually. Here we are assigning the resource, okay, and then we will get one option like whether this resource is will bottleneck or not. So that means if anything happens, this resource become a bottleneck for the production actually, okay, and decay the resources unable and this one is like you can check it is available on or not. Okay. Once you one more thing we need to understand in the GMC system is right now I created this resource work center and thing. Okay. Later on, if I use any of this work center resource manage shifts or any of it, and I started and working on any order. Later on, if you want to delete any data, we cannot do that. So always be mindful what you're going to start and do, because deleting this master data once the order or any SFC has started and use this resources, work center or shift will not be revert back, or revert in the sense you can change some data inside it, but over the whole entity as well you want to delete, that is not possible. Okay, so be careful about that things. Yeah, so this is all about these master data, which is today we cover about this resource and work center. Okay, so yeah, we have covered these three topic as of now: resource type, and work center creation, the master data creation. For these we have gone through. I think next we will go through the operation and the routing. Okay. This one also we discussed, right, about the how we are differentiating the resources between process and discrete. So based on that particular checkbox or button is there, right, process resource. So on the basis we are doing that. Okay, which we covered this one as well. Now coming to this slide, which is for the operation activity. So yeah, so for to this also we can access this application through the same group from the manufacturing master data management. Inside that we can see the manage operation activity application. So there we can create the activity, we can modify, we can filter, sort, and then also we can add custom values as well against the operation activity. Okay, so and then after that we're going to cover the okay, yeah. So yeah, also we're going to see the different status in the DMC for the operation activity. One is a new, releasable, and hold. Okay, so these status we also will go through, and then also we'll see the operation activity type as well. Okay. And there's a few already defined type we will go, and then we will go through the routing as. Okay. So let's go inside the DMC's application itself, and we will go through these two application basically first. Uh, First will be the operation, and then we will go through the routing. Okay. Okay. So as I said, I can go to this manufacturing master data management application. Okay. And then inside that, I have to look it for operation activity. Yeah, second one only. This one. I click here. So here I can see the operations. What were the operations we have already? And just to create it, click on this button, enter the operation name. Provide the version. It can version, it's up to you. However, you can keep A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, whatever the version you. So make sure that it's consistent throughout it. And then you define the operation type. Is it a normal operation or it is a spatial operation? Okay. This basically operation will be like when you're defining any operation. Like, so this operation activity can be a special, means that operator can perform the SFC out of the normal routing. Okay. Then in that case, they can go with this operation activity. Yeah. So basically, these are the so whenever you're defining any operation, okay, you're saying this is a spatial operation. So this can be like it's like you can perform any operation out of your routing. Okay, so this is a kind of a spatial routing. So any exception happen, okay. So you want that spatial operation activity. So you can use this particular SFC operation to perform that exception. So depend on that exception.
So disposition part will comes under spatial routing.
Yeah, disposition is a different routing. That is a routing actually. So inside the routing, we will have the operation.
Okay.
So see, when I'm creating a new spatial operation activity, then it means I have a spatial routing itself. It is not linked with this any other routing. It will be a different routing itself. So most of the cases when, like suppose in our scenario when we are, which we're discussing, okay, most of our will be a normal routing. We are saying, okay, in this routing, this is a normal routing. We are doing the normal operation. Sorry, normal operation. It here we have predefined sets. Okay, this I have to assemble the wheels. I have to assemble the frame. I have to assemble or weld the frames and all. That is I'm doing. Okay, so this will be normal only. Spatial is when you want to have any SF different other activity than your normal operation. So in that case, if any normal operation is there, it will basically normal activity is there. So for the spatial activity, if we have any, so you create a different activity for it, and then have a different routing for that. So it's similar if we understand like disposition routing, but that if disposition routing is like we are saying, okay, this issue happened, I want to go into this particular route. So there you can you're doing that case, right? So similar is this also. So basically this also we are using the case of exceptions and all, and when we have to process any exceptions or something happens where you want to make sure like, okay, no, this instead of going with a normal operation, might be I need a someone other expertise or anything on this particular case. So I will route you this to this particular operation. This particular piece of work, I will route it to different operation. So in that case, we will define that. So that spatial operation will define type will define as a spatial. Okay. So when I say spatial, whenever I'm doing, so they are saying a new spatial routing with the same name will be created along with this operation activity. Okay, so I as soon as create a spatial activity, our routing will also be get generated by the system with the same name only. Okay, so let's for now if I create as a wish you can check create any of it. enter the description of your routing. Okay, it is a current version. This case, if it is not, disable it. What is the status basically? So there's a 3 status. One is a release. So basically, when it is a release status, the user cannot use this particular operation. Okay, but they can modify, change this operation. Okay, this new indicates like it is in the language. If you say it's a new status, means this particular operation right now in uh, process. Basically, it's not ready to use. It's the master data person is still working on this operation to create this activity. Actually, it is still in process. Okay, releasable, that means the operator can work on this, but basically can start working any SFC on this particular operation. Okay, then we have obsolete, means like this is no one can work on this, no operator, no machine cannot work on this SFC. This particular operation is no longer available for use. Basically, hold is basically you put this particular operation activity into a hold. This will not be available until someone changes the status or to releasable. Okay, so basically absolute is like a permanently you're saying it is not available. Hold is like a temporary unavailability of this operation activity. Okay, then we have default resource you can define and work set. So resource type you can define. So what resource type it should have. Okay, so you can define either default, or if you know this needs to be should this basically you're saying in this particular operation activity we're going to work on this kind of a resources. So you can define that resource type as well if you have. Otherwise, you can always go with the default one. So whenever you're transferring data from S4, okay, since this resource type information is specific to the DMC only, this information will not be coming from the your integrated system. So in that case, what happens is always system by default assign this default resource. Okay. If you want to make a modification or changes, come to the screen and make a change. Okay. Then you can define the resource also. You can define the work center as well, but these are not the mandatory fields. Okay. So as of now, I have created these operation activity for the scenarios. Like I have created a final assembly. I created a frame painting assembly operation. Sorry, frame welding operation as well, and the spoke installation operation as well. So these are different operations I have created. You can see this one, right? PMR operation. This is a default operation actually. This is a example you can see of a spatial operation. Okay, so this is by default the system has created this particular operation. So if just right now I told you, right, so whenever we are creating any special route operation, our system will automatically create a routing against it. Okay, so if I go inside the manage routing and this, so our operation was PMR. Here I can see one routing is there with the same name. Okay, and this is also a spatial routing, and inside that it will have on one operation only, which is this operation only. Okay, and it will be performing on a different. Here we have not defined the work center. If I go here and if you see, so it should have some more work center. So it doesn't have any work center, but we can assign it actually. So this is by default they have created, because this is the system had created this particular one. Okay, so that time we don't have any work center in the system. They have that's why it's not showing. But here we can assign the work center as well. So basically, what is saying, when we are in this routing, basically this PMR routing, this operation will be performed. This will be the first set of the step which the operator will be doing, and that will be performing on this work center. And the work center, we can select any of it. Like I'm saying, it will always go first work center on this particular routing will be the WC. Sorry, a paint actually. So it will be performing on the paint only. Okay. So this is all
So,
about the
Kajal,
operation. Yeah.
see, in as for in general, we are not creating standalone operation. Okay, so all the operations are generally part of the routing. We are not creating a separate standalone operation.
If I'm not wrong, if you're configuring the master data itself in the ERP as well, you have to create operations first, and then you are assigning those operations to the routing. And I think
No. We are on part under the routing. We are just assigning the activities work center. Okay, we are not creating a standalone operation and assigning it to routing.
what is the
So
activity? No, sorry.
activity means operations. So there is a part of the routing. There is no standalone operation.
Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. Mm, Let me just adjust. So see, I'm creating order. Okay, I put the. Okay, understood. But here, that's not the way it works actually. So whenever you're transferring order itself, every time the system will create in whatever the operations are associated with it. Okay, and then you can see the routing. So the operations will be having those information only in this step. What are the name you have put on the route while creating the routing, right? You have like step 10, 20, 30, 40 you are creating, right? So
Right.
in the when you're transferring from the integrated system, how the operation activity will look like is your order number. Then it will be, I think, with the leading zeros will be order number. Then you will have your step ID, and then the version will be ERP 001 or something like that. That way system will generate out of those every steps which you have created in the routing, right? So it will create in DMC first. That operation will be created. You can see the operations, and then in the routing, if we go, you can see the structure this way. Like
No, what I mean is, okay, like when we transfer the routing, okay, so whatever operations we have in the under the routing, that will get automatically created as a standalone operations, or how it is.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. So whenever you are transferring it, will whatever the steps you have in the routing, one for those steps, one operation will be there. So if you have 10 steps in that, so
Mhm.
you can see in the DMC 10 operations has been created against those steps. So first operations are created, and then the routings are there.
Okay,
So
so
in
that
DMC,
operation is linked with any, is there any assignment, or it's a standalone operations?
so here the operations, whatever you are creating, will be the order specific operations. So it is
Order
like,
specific.
yeah, means like, see, uh, uh, you can, there's a, yeah, mostly it will be the order specific, or you can create your, so right now what I have seen and what we have did is a order specific only. Like, so we have a routing which is order specific. So whenever the data is coming, whatever the operations are there inside, means the steps basically, if it say in the terms of S4 and ERP, so those steps is getting created here in the operation activity.
But the routing generally is not a order specific. It's
No, I'm not talking about routing actually. So I'm not talking about routing. I'm saying operation. So
operation is
inside
also
every,
not order specific. Okay.
so see, so how the system going to identify? Okay. So for system, what they do actually, just let me tell you the simple way. So when you are transferring the data from your integrated system in the operation activity, the operation will look like this way. It will be the order number, the step,
No, that is what, there is no order number.
Okay, that
What do you
okay.
mean by order number? It's a
Okay,
master
see,
data, right? Still, we are not creating any transactional data. So there is no any order
one
number.
second. No, 1 second. Okay, I understood what you mean that way right now. So there's a different type of routing. Okay, let me just do one thing. Okay, I think you're getting confused somewhere. What is operation? What is operation activity, and what is routing? So even if you have a master data, okay, in your ERP as well, okay, if you have a master data, your the routing or the step which you are having it for the master data, it can be same for the different type of routing as well, right? If we
Yes.
have order specific routing, if you step 1020 for the master data, you can also have a 1020 route, right? Are you
Mm-hmm.
with till this you're with me, right?
Yeah.
So it's depend what data you're sending from integrated as for system to ERP. Okay. When I say order specific routing, if you're sending, the operations will be order specific, and the naming convention or the naming you can see is like order number hyphen the it will be the step ID or some numbers. It should look like this way. Okay. This is for the order specific routing I'm telling. But if you are sending the master data, okay, that means it's not associated with any order or anything. So in DMC, whatever the operation you have, whatever the name you have, that that name will be getting generated in the operation activity. So whatever you are sending, the same will be getting generated. Whatever the step you have, like suppose for the 10 step or any name is there, like frame welding is the operation name. Okay, you're sending from. So this is your routing. This is your routing actually, the which you are sending from the S4 side. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
which have these operation with these names. Okay, frame like frame welding, frame painting, spoke installation. These are the name of your operations or steps in your S4 system. The same names will be getting generated here. It's well in the operation activity.
See, in S4, the routing is specific to the material master. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you take that example of bike, okay. So maybe we have a multiple two types of bike. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And for both the bike, we have a separate operation, separate
Mm-hmm.
routing, separate routing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But one of the operations may be common,
Mm-hmm.
like assembly is common, paint maybe will be the different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we transfer those two routing from that S4, so will it create a duplicate operation because we have the two set of master data, or there is, I'm a little bit confused how when we transfer the routing data to DMC, how it's get created.
Okay,
Uh,
just simple question. Okay. So in S4 also, in the system, when you say the routing is based on the material, okay, it can be a different type of routing as well. Producing the same bike, but because of the different material we are using it routing can be different. Okay, but the internal operations which we are using, one operation might be the same only, right? It will be common,
right.
right? So since the configuration and everything is already there or it's common, so there will be no duplication. So it is already present. The system either what can do is can update the same or it will create a new version of it based on the configuration on the system, right? Like we
Mm,
yesterday I showed you, right? Either you can change it will update the same material or will not. If there's no change, okay. Uh Otherwise, if it is there, it will update it basically.
no, it's
Like
no need to update or change, right? Because that
update at
valid for
the
different materials, because material is different. For that we have different routing.
but inside
So
that routing you have the same operation, right? If the different operation if you have, then there's no question. Whatever the differences are there, it will be coming. Like if you have XYZ operation in one routing, the DMC will have XYZ. Okay. In a second routing, you have ABC, the system will have ABC. But anything is common, the common will be there. Okay. So common part will be common. It will not be duplicated, right? Anyway, like that. But if you have order specific routing and everything, okay, so then you will have order specific operation name also. Like it will be not like 10 is there, so you're using 10 everywhere. No. So it's depend upon your routing configuration, basically, what type of routing it is. So any
So
question till now? Yeah.
in general, how have you created any operations locally in DMCs, or it always get transferred from S4?
No, for real time scenarios, no.
No need to create any operations, right?
No, real time we never do actually, because most of clients right now, see, they are already having their own MES systems or S4 they are using. So it doesn't make sense to create locally. As of now, I have not. Okay.
Okay,
I have
but
not.
have you also do some extensions or some additionals like at the operations level, right? You can do multiple things, assign some characteristics, assign some process instructions, all these things
Mm,
locally in DMC.
See, so when can you repeat your question again? Sorry.
Okay, so for that specific operation, if I want to record some data, some parameters, okay,
Mhm.
like I have that operation supposed to be performed at specific temperature, right? And I have to
Mhm.
record that data. Okay, that operation is performed at this particular temperature. So
Yeah,
those kind of,
that you can do as with the help of data collection. Basically, you want to do, right? So you want to collect some data from the top floor or anything. So you can perform
yeah.
data collection.
So where we can assign those things? How means how to set up those things?
I think we have a session on that. We'll
Okay,
cover that in detail. Okay.
okay.
Yeah. So any question as of now on the
Just one,
routing, so no
one small
operation,
question.
sorry. Yeah.
For example, we have operation 10, 20, 30, 40. So same name will appear in DMC, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, along with the description. If we are
That's
transferring operation from ERP system to DMC, and in
see,
ERP we have operation number. Yeah.
see. So I don't know exactly, but I think that's not possible. Like as Sohil
You are
mentioned, right?
showing
In the
you are
DM,
showing some no, no, you are showing some picture where your the operation were appearing in the different screen, I guess.
yeah, yeah,
Can you go to manage routing?
yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
This here activity ID is coming, no? 10, 20, 30, 40.
Hmm. So
This
these are
way, when we created this, when we create manually, where you put that ID?
while creating the routing, actually, we do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any question on the operation, basically, how to create and manage operations?
So where you assign those activities and all these things in operation, or that is part of the routing?
That's part of the routing, na?
Okay.
This is your activity. The activities will be associated, will be assigning while we are creating the routing, right? So it
Mhm.
is in routing only. Okay. Um, no more question on this, then we can move to the routing. Yeah. So routing, okay, before going routing. So this is a common application for the routing and recipe. So here in the top, you can see different, you can search by the any text, routing name, material by set, by material you can search. Okay. Time, creation, modification time. On that, based on type also you can search. Okay. Based on the version and what you want to see, routing or recipe. So based on the plant configuration, this value is always selected default. If it is a process, recipe will be by default selected. If it is a basket, routing will be there. So these are the type of the routing right now which is being supported, or I'm think these are there. One is a production routing, one is the order specific routing, one is a spatial routing, another is a NC routing, and then there's one disposition functional routing. Okay. So right now we are going to go through these ones. Just 1 second now.
Our comprehensive student metrics ensure top-notch learning experiences. We track engagement through attendance, participation, and video interactions. Performance is measured via quiz scores and assignment submissions. We monitor learning behaviors, including time spent and revisit patterns. Our metrics cover social learning, course completion rates, and even post-course success. With technical data on platform usage and device information, we optimize every aspect of your learning journey.
Yeah. So no defect routing. So whenever we having the system, right? Whenever we are creating a plant, okay. So by default, 8 routing will be created, okay. And what these are, no defect found routing, which is of disposition function. Disposition routing will be there. There's one PMR, which is a special routing. Then return to any. This is one routing which will be built there. Then return to any previous operation. Basically, this one also will be created there, and return to original routing. This is also be there. And then last one will be the scrap routing. Okay, let me just move it somewhere here. Yeah. So if I go to see the scrap one, okay. So it does not have any. It just have the, so whenever you are routing or uh, anything to this particular routing, the SFC will be scrap. This is for the scrap only. So this particular routing has one step, okay, and that is also what it's doing is it's just scrapping the SFC. So basically, the step has a scrapping of the SFC. Before I should explain these, I would like to do one thing. Okay, let me see if I can show this one. Hmm. So, with the help of this particular application, you can create, modify all this feature you can do. So, while creating, these are the options available you can do. So, at the top action toolbox, you can see the scrap is there, return and done options are there. Okay, and then you have these other services available to perform. So right now, this is for the, if you have an NC routing, if I just, so basically if you want to use any of these services, you just have to drag and drop. Okay. So different type of routing you can create out of it. So I have used mostly the normal operation routing for the master data. Okay, you can do this. You can do for the spatial routing, if you can create, you can just drag and drop and you put the spatial routing, what the spatial routing is there. Then you have to check the spatial routing. So whenever you're putting, so basically you're saying this particular activity, suppose like what I want to do is I just remove this one. So after this particular, let me just cancel it. So what I'm saying, after the final operation, it should move to this particular spatial routing. Okay. And in this spatial routing, I can just assign the spatial, so basically in this particular, I can assign only spatial routing. I will select the routing. This is a spatial one which we have created. And okay. And this particular routing, spatial routing PMR has one step. Okay. If I go back, let me just save it. Activity return is not completed. It's a 50. Okay. So if this is done, then go to the done. So this PMR is a special routing, and this one has just one operation, which is PMR operation. Okay, and nothing. That's one operation only. And once that is done, this routing will be completed.
What is
Yeah,
this, Kajal? What is this PMR actually? Sorry.
PMR is this one, the
Oh, okay.
supremely
We created
material
already.
overable. Okay, one more thing.
If you want to, yeah. Again, Kajal. If you want to see, you have mentioned this as this is after a 40 operation, we have to use this special routing, right? If you want to include in the middle, like after 20, we need to like use this special routing. Is it possible, right? So
Yeah,
wherever
it's
we
what
require, we can do
I.
it. Right?
Yes, yes, yes. I just okay for the sake of simplicity because the
Yeah, yeah,
structures are there. I
that's
just
okay.
did actually. So we can add in between, no problem. Okay. So then we have 1 second. Then we have spatial routing. Okay, we right now let's go with top by top. Okay, disposition routing. I think everyone's a little bit aware about it. So whenever you have any disposition, okay, uh, this like you will provide a choices. Okay, where you want to go in, which routing you want to follow and all. So in that case, you can use this one. Okay. So and then we have uh, this one. This is for the normal activity which is there. Production routing is also like it is used to like it's a normal routing itself also. Then we have this special operation activity master. So if we are creating any routing for the master operation, we can use this special basically activity master. We can use this one. Spatial routing is this like it should right now I just showed this one is a spatial routing. It should contain at least one special operation. Okay. Then we have simultaneous routing. That means you can uh, create a simultaneous route. Like you can perform options will be there like side by side. So at the time you can have okay. Do either PMR or either I can do done. Okay. And this one will be attached to 70. So basically what I'm saying is here, if once I'm done with the final assembly, if I go here, I will have two options. Either I can go to the special routing. Okay. It this so whenever the operator completed this final operation, he or she will have the options. Will be asked which routing they want to do. Okay, first, or you can do parallelly as well. Uh, Parallelly, basically, so they can either work on this one or they can do the complete as well. So this complete doesn't make sense actually. We should have one more operation here. Okay, let me just add one more operation like
So,
okay.
Kajal, these are the spatials routings, okay, whether disposition, spatial, order specific.
Yes,
Those
yes,
are
yes.
work. Those are working along with the normal routing, or means see when we have all the normal routing, right? In general,
Mhm.
then maybe for some specific scenario, we'll create a special. How to combine means how it will work with that normal routing.
Okay, just 1 second. 1 second, let me explain you. Just 1 second. This is not correct. 1 second. No, 1 second. I'm just getting confused here. This is my welding operation. Okay. This is my operation activity, which I've defined. Okay, understood. I don't have any other option, other routing. Yeah, normal operation master routing. I have already used these 4. Okay, that's why. So see, I already have this routings, right? So whenever I'm creating it, creating the same activity again in the same. So let's do one thing. Cancel this one. Creating a test route. Okay. This will be production routing only. Routing.
Why we have here don't have this normal routing option, routing type?
The production routing is the normal routing. Means like
No, but when you see this, we have we have both the options, normal routing as well as production routing. In that earlier screen that you shown.
okay, 1 second. So this is operation actually, normal operation. Okay. This is not routing. So right now I'm creating a routing. So routing is this one. Means this is a production routing, is a normal routing. Okay. This is operation basically. If I click here, I will just 1 second. Give me a second. I will put the master routing will be this operation will be I will be doing this one. Building the work center will be assembly and at not okay. So this is basically this help me to fetch or link the operation to this routing. Okay, this production routing is basically I'm saying I'm going to use a different routing inside this routing. So this one, the routing which we created earlier. So this is one routing. So basically our current routing is this. Okay, with the help of normal operation activity master, we created a operation inside this routing. First sequence we created, second sequence we created itself is one routing with the help of the production routing, because our routing was this routing is a production routing. Okay, but if I want to create any special, I want to include any special routing inside this routing, I need to use the special routing this way, and here I will select the special router. This is my special router. Okay, for quick I will just open in a different tab as well. This is routing, right? So PMR is our my special routing. Okay, if I want to do create an NC routing, basically whenever any NC is selected, I want to route it to this one, and I want to use this routing inside this routing, the one that I'm creating, I can use this one. So basically if you want to include different kind of routing inside your routing, then these are the routing options you can include: disposition, NC, production means normal, and then you have special routing. These are the routings. Basically this routing itself will have a different set of operations. Okay, but these are the those two things are there. There's one simultaneous group and any order group. Okay, simultaneous is basically one by first perform this, then this, or parallel. Basically you can do this one. Any order, I need to try this one. I never used this one. Okay, let me just grab this. No error. Okay, let's first make open. This is any order. inside that I can have any operation or anything. 1 second. Any order group. Okay. It's an order group, not a uh 1 second. No, this one I never use actually. So not sure. Operation group is there. Okay, 1 second. Well, it's a typical routing that contains a group of operation activity that can be performed in any order, but must also. Okay, so yeah, so basically, how to go out of this one? I came inside that one and it is not able to go back. Okay, so basically that any order group routing is basically is that that particular group will have a other list of or a group of different operation activities. Okay, but there's no proper or any sequence you can perform or you can complete the those operation in any sequence, but the only condition is that you must complete all the operation in that group. Okay, so let me just keep it again. I will keeping this only. Okay, so we are talking about this one, right? Any group. So this one is like inside this, I can have multiple operations. Okay. And I can process in it in any order. Like if I have, like suppose in this particular group, I have 10, 20 operation or 30 operations. It is not mandatory. Like the operation 10 need to be completed first, then only I can go ahead and work on operation 20, and then I can go ahead and work on 30. It is like if resources are available at 20, I can go ahead and work on the 20th operation first, and then later on 30 or 10. But the thing is, like when you're moving out of this group, we have to make sure that all these three operation inside this group is completed, then only the order can move to the next operation. Like suppose after this we have another operation, sorry, 30 we have. Okay, just give an example. मैं delete करती हूँ. So okay, so suppose we are this is our routing step. Okay, and inside that we have multiple other operations. Okay, like 2 operations are there. You can complete the operation in any order. It's not necessary like you should complete the first 10 operation, 20 operation, then only so basically it's not like you have to complete the 10 operation first and then go with the 20 operation. You can complete it in any order. Okay, and once that group both orders are completed, then only the SFC will move to the next operation, that is 30. Okay. Is that making any sense?
So this action you can assign to that particular operations or what? This action.
Yeah. So if I go inside this, okay. Right now it does not have any other data, but if I go see the groups here, I can assign the operations. Like I assign the operation 40. I assign like final assembly is there. 40. Save it. I have one more operation here. Okay.
So why all this operation is not appearing? Only we can see the letter.
Sorry.
Why all the operation is not appearing?
Yeah, all the operations are coming, right? Or These are the 4 operations we have currently.
Yeah, but in a
We
routing,
cannot.
when you add the operation in a routing, we can see the only the one operation, right?
Because right now we are inside the group actually. Okay, this is done. So basically inside this group, we just enter inside this, okay? In this group, we have these 2 operations, okay? Once both these operations are completed, okay? So there you can see the linkage here. You can either go from here to this or there to there. Once everything is completed, then you can go to the operation like you can go move forward, okay? This is, I'm not sure how to go out of it, okay? Okay, here the close view, okay. Yeah. So inside this, you can see we have 2 operations. Okay. Once these both operations are completed, okay, then only the SFC will move to this operation, which is 30. This is how we can have one more operation before this as well. Like if I add. So suppose my routing is like first I'm doing frame welding, then I'm going to this group. In this, we have multiple operations, which is these 2. Okay. Forget about and forgive me for the sequence, the operation which I put. Okay. Just for the example, I'm telling, suppose we have these 2 operations. Okay. We will perform these 2 operations. Once these 2 operations are completed, then we'll move to this operation. Okay. Only thing is like these 2 operations I can perform in any sequence. It's not necessary that I have to perform 40 first and then 50. I can do 50 first and then 40 as well. Okay. For these reasons, we can use this particular feature any order group. So if you have a scenario where you don't have to care about the sequence of the operation, but before that group you need to perform certain operation first, and after that you need to perform certain operation after that, then you can just group that operation in a group in any order. And so basically you can make a routing in this way. Okay. Right now I'm not sure about this thing, whether this is getting transferred from S4 or not. Okay, these kind of routing, simultaneous group or any order group, but you can create in DMC. Okay.
Okay.
From S4 side, I have seen master data routing and the order specific routing. You can transfer easily. Okay. These 2 type where you have a simultaneous or any order sequence in the routing, I'm not sure that is feasible or currently available to be transferred from ERP to the SDMC. Okay.
Okay. So in ERP, which are the 2 routings? The production routing only get transferred, right?
So you have master routing and the product order specific routing you can transfer. And can you just name any other routing? Maybe I know, but the name I'm not able to remember right now. Any of you can. What are different type
Rate
of
routing, I
routing?
guess.
Yeah. Which one?
Rate routing also, I think. Rate routing, I guess.
Wait,
That's
routing.
I think I'm not sure. Even I'm just confused.
No, those are for the repetitive or process.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can have this super routing also, VC variant configurable routing.
Super routing. Sorry, guys. Actually, I'm not much familiar about the master data configuration. Okay, so these are the 2 routing which, as of my experience, I have worked with the DMC. So I know we can do, but yeah, we can try and test those routing as well.
Okay, and one more thing. Suppose we assign the resource and work center to the routing, right?
Mhm.
Again, go to the routing screen.
Yeah, inside any particular routing.
Yeah, just that you. Yeah, see, in operation 10, if I have a 2 resource 1 and 2, okay.
Mhm.
In operation 20 also, I have a two resource, 1 and 2.
Mhm.
Okay, but line is set up in such a way that the physical location, if my operation, if I start at resource 1, then it should go to resource 1 only in second operation. That network kind of thing
Okay.
to follow the shortest route.
Okay. Understood. Um, the routing level, you never define this information, right? In the ERP as well.
ERP, we don't have that information. We don't have that functionality in ERP.
Fine. Okay. So right now, if you're saying basically, if I started at resource one, so throughout the life cycle of that SFC, it should go with the first resource of each work center, right?
Not necessarily. It should follow the shortest path based on that physical location of the resource. Correct.
Then I think that
If
much information.
in the second
Yeah, that.
operation, if my first operation is completed resource 1 and we move to the second operation, okay, then which one is the nearest resource in that second operation? Maybe 1, 2, or 3, whatever. So it should follow that particular shortest path
That
in that entire.
information we don't have actually. We are not storing that information anywhere actually. So not possible. Yeah, at the operator they can decide. They will have so here we are not saying this particular operation need to be work on this resource. We are just saying okay in this particular work center, and based on the availability of the resources, they can select the resource for the pod and they can start working on that. That's up to like system does not have that capability to schedule right now automatically. Okay, it's all either the supervisor do based on this base knowledge, or you can you can just let the system know actually. Okay, bro, whenever you have any work center on this particular have any order in this work center, we can say okay this is the default work center, always go with this first. Basically we can say okay this is the shortest path as for you said, this is the resources the shortest part for any order coming from. You first give a priority to this one. We can define that default resource, but if that is not available, it will go with the any system will pick any random resource which is available for that work center. So the scheduling you can do, but that does which will be based on the default configuration you have. Apart from that, it will be random scheduling. Else, this operator can make a decision of their own while performing the operation from the pod itself. Which resource they need to select, which resource they have to work.
Okay. And in this routing, it's not necessary to assign the material, like which product this routing is.
Material we are
just
doing.
created a routing, right? But this routing applicable for which material, which product?
We did at the beginning, I guess, or not. So while creating, let me see while creating I assign the material or not.
You assign the material at routing level, right? Not activity level.
Activity, we are not assigning material. Means material that's components or the consumptions which are going to do in this particular step, right? That you're talking about?
Yeah, that also, and also the product that we are going to produce.
Yeah,
Using
that.
this routing, right?
So what the output of this product will be that you can assign here, which we did is the finished steel tubing. This is wrong actually. Okay, it should be some meaningful finished product, finished material. Okay, so that you can have it. I will see
But
how I assign
did we
this
create,
one.
yeah, Kajal, did we create this material now? Because I didn't notice
No,
that
no, no.
you
This
created.
I created earlier only. This
Oh,
is not. So already I've created some material, so that's why it is coming.
okay.
So I
Can you
think
try
we.
the tab manage material? There is any assignment possible to assign routing or BOM?
Yes, yes, yes. That is there. We can assign the routing for those materials. So that is there actually. That's why this is coming. So we will look that thing. Yeah.
See, the concept of routing, I could understand. Okay, where you created the operation activity first, then assigning it to routing. That concept I don't understand. But what is the meaning of order routing you are telling, right? What is the meaning? Which order you are talking?
Are you talking about this one?
No, 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 not any order routing. You are
Okay.
telling when we transfer the data from S4 system to DMC, you use the term order routing.
So in ERP, right, and especially in the discrete manufacturing, they have order specific routing. Like
Yeah.
that was I'm talking about order specific routing. So uh,
Order specific routing, I have not seen. Have you come across Sohil?
Yeah, you can have that, specific requirement for make to order or project order scenario. Then you can create a sales order specific
No,
routing.
but there I have seen BOM, sales order BOM I have seen, but
Yeah,
routing I'm not.
routing also you can have that sales order, bomb sales. Yeah.
see, I also have never come across different other types. Mostly, I think for the discrete, they are using either master routing or order space as of now, in my experience. But maybe I'm wrong also because I don't have that much of experience in this. But yeah, so these are the two one I have mostly encountered as of now. Like coming from S4 side, they are I heard of the different other routings also, but I never worked on. Yeah. I think for this scenario also that doesn't make any sense. Like if the routings are coming, you can do whatever you want to do in GMC. That's totally fine.
And just one more small thing. You talked about the customization scenario where PM was in picture. Can you just elaborate what is how you did the customization, or was it done in S4 system you're talking about or in DMC?
Routing customization, you're saying?
No. You when while creating the resource, you're trying to attach that equipment asset. Remember that app.
Okay.
And then you mentioned some scenario that we don't have currently we don't have PM plant maintenance and DMC supported. So you told that via customization it is possible. So you mean customization in DMC or in ERP system you are telling?
It will be across all the systems because you have to create custom BAPI of module function to accept the input. You have to have the customization in CPI as well because DMC cannot directly interact or communicate with the BAPI. It should go through the CPI only. So it will be whole end-to-end customization.
And from DM consultant perspective, then what configuration comes in our scope, and does it need a BAPR intervention, or it is just like a
Yes,
configuration
yes,
we can add?
yes. Mm, if you know the BAP side, you can do, but as a it's depend on a role actually, how much you're handling, and So the thing is like such customization where you have to interact with the S4 side or ERP side, it most of the time involves the different personas, different parties, CPI, ABAP, you as a DMC consultant.
So
Yeah.
for rework activity, which kind of routing we should create?
Rework.
Have you heard
Can
about
be
reference routing set?
Return.
Reference routing set have you created in DMC? That is used for basically for rework in S4 system.
no. So rework. See, it can be. Let's giving scenario. Just let me know whether it fits in the way whether it's answering your question or not. Okay. So basically, what you're trying to do is like if you want to rework, you want to put in the same operation, or you want to navigate it to the different router or different operation.
It could be in the same. Let's suppose like some SFC is starting or assembling and it got failed or scrapped. So we need to do on the rework part, right?
Yeah. So
For
basically,
that,
when you are yeah, so whenever you are completing operations, you come to know, okay, on any step, like if for in the 20th operation, you as the order goes, SFC goes to the 20th operation, you understood, okay, no, it's need a rework on operation 10, right? So you can introduce one routing which is returned to the previous operation. Okay. So here you can use this one. So it will go to the previous routing. So basically you have to create your own routing where based on the scenario, you can have this cases, but rework as such is not there. Like if you're saying like is there any special routing there for just for the performing the rework scenario, so that is as a standalone nothing is there. You just have to build your logic or your routing around all these things features which is available. Like if you want to move to the previous operations, you can do that. Okay. If you want to move to any other operation and that feasibility you are giving to the operators, you can have that as well. Or if you want to move it to the so once the rework is done, okay, where you want to move it to it? Do you move it to the original SFC from where you go to the rework operation? So that also you can do with the help of the options available. So here, if we go to, so this is like, go to the toolbox. So return, scrap, return, and done is there. So I think return is basically going back operation. Return to the operation activity.
But Kajal, this return operation activity, this when it will get trigger?
So you have to create the scenario, I guess. Like it could be. Let me just go on. So, like whenever doing NC or any data collection happening, okay, you feel like something is off or some deviation you observe. So there you can just trigger this routings, right? You can just move this to the different routing.
So is it that option there in pod? You are telling to trigger rework?
Yeah, in the data collection also we can enable that thing. Like whenever this happens, and move it is to the different SFC, or you can create this logic basically in your PPD.
But that is based on a pod design, right? But this is operation level, I guess. Operationalism level you cannot do in the
Sorry, I said PPD. This is design production process. This is your logic building platform.
Okay.